Hey, welcome along to another episode of Behind the Bar podcast, brought to you by the coaches and clients of RT Fitness Durham, Sunderland, and of course the Barbell Club, where we take you from complete beginner to photo shoot ready. So on today's show, we have client Kaz, who has literally just finished our shred. She's been with us a couple of years now, and she is doing absolutely phenomenal. So she talks about how the gym and the community in itself has just helped her. Obviously, our dad passed away, and then she jumped straight into our program the following week. And then we chucked her straight into a strong event, I think the week after. And she's made this a part of her day on a morning where it just sets her up to be able to do everything and anything she can. And she is such a pleasure to coach, always happy, bouncing along. And yeah, we love her here. So great story from Kaz, so please watch it. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, and whether it's the podcast channels or the YouTube channels. Give us a like, give us a share if you enjoy it, and leave some comments below on how you find them, just so that we can keep pushing these out so that we can help everybody on their own individual journey. Enjoy. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Morning. Kaz, right. Who is Kaz, and what's your work-life balance like to be able to train times 4 per week?
So Kaz is a legend. Get
that was in the notes.
That was in the notes. Yeah. So I have a standard civil service job, can be quite stressful. Work with ministers, politicians quite often in London. But I'm lucky that since lockdown, I work from home. Pretty much 100%, apart from when I'm down in London. So I do the bog standard 9 till 5, 6, 7, depending. And so I have the flexibility to do work around that, what I can for me. You know, steps, classes, fitness and everything. So I'm quite lucky in that respect.
Right. That doesn't sound like a standard job. How you said it was the standard.
Well, no, it's standard in terms of, in terms of work-life balance, I guess.
Right, okay.
It's not shifts, it's not weekend work, but
yeah,
it can be quite full on, and in some weeks it can be, working from 9 till 9 just to get stuff done.
Right. So pre-COVID? Yeah, pre-COVID, could you not have fit that in, do you think?
No, because pre-COVID I was in Yorkshire then, so I moved up just after lockdown 1, 2.
3, 4.
And I was pretty much office-based in the York office, so that was leaving the house at just after 7, getting back just after 7.
Oh,
yeah, so that was a completely different lifestyle for me. And that's because I've always kind of been into fitness and quite fit and healthy and go to the gym and everything. But when I got that job, that went out the window because I just didn't have time to do anything except sit in the car commute, sit in the York traffic office, back bed. So that's kind of when weight crept on, and lockdown obviously kind of made that worse because I was just sat in the house eating like everybody else, I think. So.
You're not a drink though, are you?
No, I don't drink.
Yeah. Because I was going to say people drank all the way through lockdown as well. No. So what's like your fitness background before all this? I know you just said you've been to the...
Yeah, so I was, at school I was the fat kid. I was the fat kid and I was the SWAT, so I had absolutely no chance in hell of making it through school without severe trauma. But I got about, I can't remember what age, when I was quite a 13, 14, maybe I took up martial arts.
Right.
Mainly as a way of kind of getting my confidence up and a bit of, I think my dad wanted me to be able to protect myself if something happened.
Yeah, of course.
And I dropped a shed load of weight, and then I took up other sports. I started playing rugby, I took up tennis seriously again. So I went to being a proper sporty teenager.
Right.
And then I went to uni and I discovered alcohol at the time and the student life and, God, just the amount of crap we ate. And I dropped the sport off because every sports club I went to, they were just not my people. I don't know, I was just very aware that there was a different social background and I just didn't gel with them. So I dropped all my sport off, ate, drank, put loads of weight on. And then I became a bit of a yo-yo dieter. So I would join a slimming club, lost loads of weight, but I didn't do any exercise other than running at the time because I was doing the Great North Run. So I was just this skinny, version, and I thought when you lose weight you'll be happy, and I wasn't. I looked in the mirror and I just hated still what I saw, and so that's kind of when I moved and found you guys eventually.
Was it? Right, okay. Because when you're saying like you were like a say, a fat kid and squat and stuff like that. Because when I seen your movement patterns when you first started, I'm thinking you've had a sporty background. Because you can sort of tell from like, because a lot of people haven't done stuff since PE, but I knew you'd done something. But when you said that at the start, I was like, she went straight into there.
No, it was like, yeah, sort of teens to early 20s, I think, was my sporting career.
So why did you? Well, I know, like was it just the college and that, but just stopped it? Do you think, or just late teen life type?
I think it was late teen life. I think discovering cider and boys was the start of it. To be perfectly honest, I swapped me Friday night tennis for Friday night down the Durham bandstand with a bottle of lightning. And I think I just lost the love for it, and I lost the confidence over time to return to it. And I did play rugby in Yorkshire, but not to the level that I was sort of doing it before.
Right.
And I just, priorities and work. When you get into full-time work, you start to creep in the excuses, don't you? Of, I'm tired, I don't have time for that. I need to see, family and partners and things. And it just dropped off. It didn't become a priority anymore, it was, sadly.
Do you not think everybody goes through that era? Because we also, around that years as well, we started drive, so we don't walk as much. But then the alcohol, and we then have access to money where, say, we were only restricted to one takeaway every few weeks as a kid. We can get it every weekend now. Drive to McDonald's.
I think so, and I think as well, you kind of sometimes get into a routine or a rut of, I've had a really hard week at work, I'll treat myself. So the takeaway and the cake and the going out with me mum.
You like cake?
I do like cake and scones. And I think, and when you're in a relationship, I got in a relationship at that time with Lewis, and that's when you get comfortable and you start going out for dinners and all the rest of it. So it's just a cumulative effect, I think. But I think everybody goes through it, and it's how people react to it, or if there's something in your head like it did for me that I went, actually, no, I'm not happy here, or I want to improve it. And it's having the balls, really, to do something about it. But I think some people just don't, sadly.
Yeah, or it just takes them a long ass time to get there. Like my dad didn't start till he was 60.
Oh wow!
Do you know what I mean? It take like I'll always say this with people. It's like people are never truly ready till they're ready, type thing, and it takes a long time for some people. And it just is what it is. I mean, you've probably seen yourself. How many people have come through the doors, come through the... Do you know what I mean? And even though they seem ready then, they might be 20 stone and they're really going for it that time, but then you don't see them again and they're just not ready.
It is hard though as well. I think it is hard, and it's just choose your hard. Like, do you want the life that you've got that you're obviously not happy with, or do you want to buckle down and make changes, which are also hard, but they're worth it.
Oh, what's that saying? The pain of staying the same... Is it the pain of staying the same needs to... I'll fuck this up. The change of pain, something
I don't know.
Along them lines. But it's like people's pain needs to be greater to make the change. No, it doesn't matter. I'll find it out though.
Go find out.
Yeah, I'll find it out. So when did you start RT?
June 2021, I think. 2021. It was literally when I moved house.
Nearly 2 years.
Yeah, it will be, because I was in Yorkshire, moving house. Like a lot of people, lockdown, we thought, we need to be closer to home, and Durham is home. Parents were here, because we realised we were just a bit far away, and what if something happens? And then we were in this horrible housing chain. We were meant to move January 2021. It fell apart on day of exchange, like literally on the day of exchange, and we didn't end up moving till June. And during that time, sadly, I lost my dad, like really suddenly. So I was at the housing chain, losing my dad. And then I just put a thing out saying that I want to get back into my fitness, because I felt in such a mental slump. I said, I need to do something. And I just put a message out saying, does anyone know any good? Because I'm not a fan of conventional gyms, because although I've got quite a lot of motivation to go on my own, I find just there's no crack, there's no atmosphere a lot of the time. So and my friend Ellie Smith, who used to come here before she had to go back to the office, said, I do this session and you should join in. So that's kind of how I heard about it. And then obviously rang Sarah, and Sarah rang me, and I'd packed my phone, so I was like, Jesus, I'm trying to find the phone. And I was just like, really stressed, and she was like, okay. And I explained that I was just in the middle of packing. And I literally moved, I had my dad's funeral on a Monday, moved on the Friday, RT the following Monday.
Wow.
So it was like, because I just wanted to get stuck in.
Right. I was going to, well, so why did you start?
It was, it was the fact that during, obviously, lockdown, I'd put a bit of weight on, even though I was still not, as you would class, overweight or needed to lose weight. It was in myself. I just felt like I needed to do something, and I wanted to see a bit of social interaction and I love, as you know, I love sort of boot camp and Carnage. That's why I went for Carnage, because I'm a cardio bunny. I always have been. So that's what I went for, and then I purposely got an early slot because I knew that I would have to get my arse out of bed even on days when I didn't want to at that time. You know, when I was sort of grieving and sort of a bit depressed, I thought I'm going to have to do something that gets me out of bed, so I have to be somewhere at a certain time. And that, for me, was the biggest thing I could have done, and I didn't know it at the time, but that, I think, probably saved me from going down quite a dark place, having that routine at the end of the day.
So how's that helped then with all of that?
It's just been the fact that I say, I wake up, I get up, and even if I don't want to, I know I had to get there. And sad as it is, like that 1 hour was possibly the 1 hour of my day when I wasn't like just succumbed by everything that was going on in my head. It was like an hour I could get out of my head. And at the end of that hour, I felt so much better than when I'd woken up. And then when I started to walk to and from the session, again, that was just by the time I'd got to the unit, I already felt a bit better. By the time I trained, I felt even better by the time I got home. And I was at my desk. I was like, right, I can do this. I can face today. It was a real sort of, oh my God, moment for me. And I think if I'd come to an evening class, I would have got out of bed, I would have rolled to my desk, I would have not really cleared that fog in my head. And then the excuses come in, don't they, on an evening class. I'm tired, I've got to stay at work. Traffic's bad, even though I walked. Traffic's bad, and such and such, I've got to do such and such. So I think that the routine for me was crucial in getting me back to the sort of Kaz that I was before. And I remember the first session I walked in, I kind of shuffled in, I was like, I'm new. And I just put my head down, and then over...
Did you have him?
Yeah.
Did you?
And over time, I kind of started to come out of me shell, and I got into it, and the banter with him started, and I'd say every week that passed, I kind of got to my old self, which was really nice.
Explain the banter with Luke.
Me and Luke have a very special relationship. Possibly. I think we're split from the birth, aren't we, Luke? We're just both horrendous in our...
I've seen a lot of cocks drawn on each other.
And we get each other a stupid Christmas present, which normally involves cocks.
Okay.
Cock socks,
So you found a little friend?
I found my little mate.
Yeah.
We did. We bought each other the same socks for Christmas.
No way.
Like a knob on.
No way. Did you? Yeah. That's amazing, that. I didn't even know.
We're twins,
Oh, brilliant. Haven't even seen you wear them.
I wore them once.
What did you? We wear them more. It's a Christmas present. Meant. So,
wear shorts. You're meant to be like when you wear trousers.
Yeah, your trouser snake, because we have this joke, who's got the bigger knob?
Right. Who does have the bigger knob?
Me.
Right, okay. We'll clear that one. So that, like, with that, so how many, what is it from, say, house to here? So is that like about a 2-hour mental headspace?
It's half an hour each way, generally. Right. But I do extend it sometimes. When I was doing the shred, I extended it by 15 minutes, so I got more steps. But it's just a nice way to set up my day. And then, so it means that when I sit at my desk, I've done me steps, I've done me session, I'm kind of set up for that. I've front-loaded me day.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then everything else I get on top, because I say sometimes I go out at lunchtime if I've got time. I walk the dog after work, so I've got extra steps and movement without having to panic and think, oh shit, it's 8 o'clock at night and I've got like 3,000 steps to do. I'm already quite smug, generally.
Do you think it clears your head, like, for your work? Because obviously working from home can be tough for some people. Do you think it clears that up and just like you can just then crack on, and do you finish work early with it as well?
Sometimes. No, right. It does clear my head, because I get to spend that time walking, kind of planning my day a little bit as well. If I've got a particularly stressful meeting, I can kind of play it through my head rather than just go straight into it and like, a disaster. But no, it does clear my head, and because I used to like the commute when I drove to York, because I used to have my audiobooks and music and things, and kind of just zoned out. And I do the same now. I put on an audiobook or whatever and just kind of zone out a bit. So it is very beneficial, because I couldn't imagine, and it helps obviously that I've got a set office in my house as well, so I can shut the door when I finish. like other people I know who sit on a dining room table, you know, and they're constantly like at work. But
Yeah.
I just shut the door, go for a walk, come back, you know, and at the end of the day, shut the door, done, get my steps in, breathe. It wasn't nice in winter though. When I was trudging around Belmont in the dark.
Yeah.
Trying to get
But you get it done. You got it done, didn't you?
Yeah, yeah.
And like you said, you front load your day, which is probably, like, if I could advise people to do it, because it is, like you've just said, like the night time we can make so many excuses and all the rest of it. I mean, you've probably got the most ideal location to walk distance to time over most people, because it's like just enough for everything type thing.
I am fortunate in that, yeah.
Yeah.
And I only started walking, to be perfectly honest, because I got sick of the car parking, because the 6 o'clock lot took all the spaces, and then we all had to sit and wait for them to finish. And then,
Those 6 o'clock
and then
lot,
you'd shout because we were late, and we were like, I can't get parked. So I just thought, I'm going to walk, and I'm glad I did.
Good. Because you get it done, and that's it.
All weather now. Yeah.
I live quite close, but you ain't seen me walking in January.
You passed me a few times and I've been walking.
Have you?
Hurled abuse, yeah.
Oh, right, yeah. I always beep. I beep at you and you just ignore us.
I know
You
we
just-
have my earphones
Yeah,
in,
yeah, your head's down and
Oh,
stuff.
I know, I'm on a mission when I
I'm
walk.
good like this. So, what we just mentioned before the podcast. So your first week here, like, obviously everything happened, and then you said, like, the moving, your dad, all the rest of it, and then you got chucked straight into a strongman event.
I did.
Yeah.
Ellie Smith, I blame. She basically said, oh, we want to go to this strongman and I'm scared. And I was like, oh, come with me. I had no idea what it was.
Yeah.
I thought it would just be like, I don't know what I thought it was. And then she's like, oh, well, there's been a COVID case at Rory's nursery. I might not be able to go. And I was like, you will be there on Saturday.
Yeah.
And she did, bless her. So brilliant. I absolutely loved it. It was so out of my comfort zone. But everyone, and it was a chance when I got to see the RT family,
Yes,
and everyone was so welcoming, and it was just brilliant. And there's a few other like Shell and people who did Carnage as well. So I didn't feel like I was the only Carnage person. But even from that day, I like surprised myself at what I could achieve. I know it was good, but it was terrifying at the same time. Like.
Because it's hard, like, when, like, obviously we put these events on all the time, and it's hard to say get a lot of the new people to get in, but once they've experienced it, because it's not just Durham, it's Sunderland's here as well, and you've got Deb just grabbing you all, do you know what I mean, bringing it in, and it's like, I always want people to experience that from the get-go. Yeah. I mean, Claire, you jumped straight into the Carnage Games, didn't you? First week, maybe? First week, yeah. And it's, I'm always wanting them to get that thing, and like, you did it. And then you were just straight in and absolutely...
I think those events you do feel part of the family, because you feel kind of part of your little Carnage lot, or Barbell group or whatever. But then when you do, it's like an initiation into the RT family in a weird way, and when everyone's cheering you, it's just, it's absolutely lovely. Yeah.
It's because, I mean, even though the strongman it's an individual thing, but everyone's cheering everyone. Yeah. And it's amazing.
Yeah, they do. And I couldn't even do some of the events. Like,
yeah.
I think the log press maybe I think I got one deadlift, but I didn't care, and everyone was just, oh, you did amazing anyway, so it's just really nice. And I would encourage people to give them a go, even if you're a Carnage person, because they're good.
I mean, our next event's a social gathering, so I think we'll get more people to that.
Yeah, they're also good fun.
Yes.
But let's never forget the night I ended up in the gala lift. Do you remember?
Well, I don't know what happened to you.
I just walked into the wall. I missed the lift and walked into the wall.
I know you had a few. You had a few.
A few pops.
So, nearly 2 years. Let's go results. What have you had?
So, I saw the results. Well, obviously I've just done the shred. Yeah. Which
you had some good results on Carnage, because I remember you had.
I think I dropped about 10 pounds on Carnage, but my fitness went like through the roof to the point where I took up running again. And I kind of changed shape in Carnage. I didn't lose loads. I mean, 10 pounds is quite a lot, but that was like a lockdown weight, But I changed physique. And then when I moved to Barbell, obviously that changes again completely. So I was dead chuffed, and I'm really chuffed with how my strength's gone up, because I was scared of weights. I just always thought I was a cardio person, and that's just my niche.
It took us a while to get you.
Yeah, Sarah was honestly badgers all the time. Just try barbell. But then I got to a point actually with Carnage, and I was like, do you know what? I love this, but I need to do. I feel like I need to change it up a bit because I felt like with Carnage, you can keep pushing yourself, but Barbell is a completely different ball game when it comes to progression. It's like
You
endless.
can't get away with the numbers on the board, can you?
It's endless, endless progression. So that's why I kind of moved over there because I did trial it. I don't know.
Yeah, you did,
I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready mentally. I think I wasn't ready for it.
You did the 6, 12, 25, didn't you?
Yeah,
For the 2 weeks, yes.
But this time I came in and loved it straight away. I think, I came back from, it was when I came back from Peru, wasn't it? I jumped straight on and went into
You
it.
did. I thought I'd never see you again.
Did you?
Yeah. Well, because I know you are a cardio person, and that's what I love. Like, the thing is, with Carnage, like, people love that. And
It's the high intensity of it.
It's like Elaine's been there for over 8 years doing it. She loves it. We've tried. Do you know what I mean? But it's like, no, I love this. So, and people just love it, and people love that sweat. I like it from time to time, very sporadic. But yeah, it's. But you still love that, don't you?
I still love it. I still jump in now and then. Bank holidays and things. Yeah.
So this week you will be.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Okay.
I was last week.
Sorted. So, what results have you had? I would say, because I think we touched on it just after you finished the shred for your head.
Definitely, it's taught me in barbell in general, but particularly the shred, that I'm a lot stronger, because the reasons I did the shred actually was curiosity got the better of me. I wanted to see what I could do and to tell myself.
Messages like a day before it started.
Yeah. I think it was a week.
Oh, was it?
And also, but to tell myself I could, because I'd always said I'd never do barbell, and if I do barbell, I'd never do a shred. I'm not disciplined enough. I eat too much cake. I'm a veggie, so I can't do it as a veggie because you'll never get your body, blah, blah, blah. So it's kind of to prove myself wrong, which I definitely did, because I smashed my protein like every day, I think. And it was just to focus down, because I work best when I have a really tangible goal to work towards.
Time frame.
So a time frame, a photo shoot, a holiday, or whatever it is. So that's one of the reasons I joined, to just really knuckle down and refocus. But it just gave me such drive and kind of lit a fire, which I hadn't had for quite a while. And then I say the results, I was just chuffed with doing it and getting through it, because I was convinced I'd be chucked off like the first week. I wasn't going to chuck me off because I was going to lose it, because I find losing weight hard, like actually the numbers going down hard. But yeah, I was just chuffed. I saw it through, and it made me prioritise and revalue rethink how I value things. And it's not all about food. I learned that food is, as corny as it is, food is fuel. Yeah. And when you're at a calorie deficit, you've got to maximise every single calorie. So it kind of retaught me, and I learned a lot about nutrition and macros, trying to fiddle my vegetarian stuff around. So, but yeah, it was a really good experience.
You're definitely more educated than me in the vegetarian side of things. Like,
You've got to be.
Because it's not my realm. I try, I just not ignore. I ignore it in a way, and I sort of like, when everybody asks any questions, I'll say, just stick it in the group. There's loads of vegans and vegetarians in there. They know better than me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm pleased you've gone through that. What's your biggest takeaways from it then?
Takeaway from the shred. Oh, that's a good one. I think habit equals result, like habit and consistency.
Right.
Because the shred, the individual elements of it aren't that hard. It's the cumulative effect of doing them every day. Yeah. All of them every day for, I think it was 111 days we went for in the end.
Yeah. So I stuck another 4 weeks on, sorry. Did. I know.
So it's just habit. And once you get them habits, you're off.
Right.
And sometimes they're a bit difficult to kind of get going. But now I've kept pretty much all of them, so I still keep my steps. Obviously, I still track, whereas before I was an on and off tracker. I was track now when I wanted to. Now it's just natural, and so it's habit. It's just habit and routine.
Have you continued them on after?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have.
Yeah. Are you, like, was those 12 weeks, 16 weeks? 16 weeks habits. Do you think those? Well, most of the habits, will not say all, because you're going to have cake, you're going to have this, do you know what I mean, in the future? But it's like, would you say now those you're going to take on, say, forever?
I would say they're pretty much the norm, and the exception is the odd, meal out or the odd bit of cake or whatever. Because I think I said to you, Louis said, what we're going to have is your first takeaway. And I was like, actually, I really don't want one, because I've just switched. Whereas before it was a habit, it was like, well, Saturday I have a takeaway, but the steps and the nutrition, because I want to stay lean. I worked very hard to get here for the 16 weeks. And I don't want to just like throw it all away.
But that was one of the reasons you wanted to do it, to get leaner.
To get leaner.
And a lot of people will just go back to exactly what they did, even though we try and guide them and they know what to do. But because we've only done it for, say, 12 weeks, those 12 weeks habits are never going to be as powerful as 20 years of habits of the one takeaway a week.
Yeah.
Did you used to get that with your parents?
No.
Did you not? Okay. So has that just been with Lewis?
Just been with Lewis. Yeah.
Has it? Right. But that's how many years have you been doing that for?
15.
Yeah. So that's 15 years of like trying to break that, just even that one habit, which is mad, isn't it?
It was funny when he used to come in with pizzas and I would just be sat there with my bloody tofu.
Oh, so he's still getting the takeaways?
No, he's doing it.
Oh, is he?
He's still there. And he's not fat.
Oh. So last one then, Mrs. So what would you say to someone wanting to live a leaner, healthier lifestyle?
I think this could be controversial.
Okay.
You've got to be a bit selfish.
Right.
If you really want that lifestyle or need for health reasons, you have to communicate that and set your boundaries and be like, look, this is really important to me. This is what I'm going to do, and I need you to sort of support that. So when I did the shred, I said to Lewis, look, I'm going to be really boring for 12 weeks, and I'm not going to apologise for it because this is important to me. And you've got to set them boundaries, so protect your workout times. So, I go at 6 o'clock at night or whatever, and this is my time, and I'm going to keep it. Or, we're going to cook healthy family meals, whatever it is, and just, you've got to be a bit selfish, I think, and carve out that time and make that a priority for you. Otherwise, the excuses will come back in, and you've got to just stick to your guns.
Brilliant. Love it. Have you got anything to cheers us with?
Yes.
Yes, you do.
But Louisa?
Oh, yes, Louisa. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you very much, Mrs.
Very much.